Hello, everyone. On our podcast show this week, you get two shows because last week you didn't get that show that we promised, that Black Friday show for various reasons. And of course, this week we're not doing it on Riverside, technically. We're using some voodoo behind the scenes to make sure that they're the backup, but we've got a primary to upload to YouTube for you this week. All right. So you're going to get two shows from us, one today and one tomorrow. And it's going to be a really exciting week for you because you get to see us twice. So thank you so much to the 100+ people that have been subscribing. We're so fortunate to have you. Like, really, we are. We can't believe that you want to listen to us. And we hope that we don't keep letting you down because we pick the wrong platform for some reason. But this week it'll be fun because of the way that we're doing the show this week, you'll be able to see some of the failures of the Riverside.fm platform in real time. So stick around for some of the bloopers and everything like that, because you're going to see exactly what we have to go through so that it may dissuade you from using their platform for recording your podcast. All right. So moving on. In this episode, we will, however, talk about all the Black Friday deals that we bought. And maybe some of them are available still at discounts that you may want to check out. I mean, just because Cyber Monday and Black Friday go away doesn't mean that Cyber Month and Cyber Month and Black Friday month don't go away. All these deals are probably still available, and they'll probably come back at the end of the year for winter clearances. So stick around, write those down in your spreadsheet that you want to purchase. Also, we've got a masterclass from Nvidia again. Stay tuned for that. This is going to be very funny. And we're also talking about Facebook. Meta. They have a horrible history with hardware, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the next cut that they're making to the hardware department. Speaking of hardware, we've also got AMD. They're doing some crazy cuts as well too, but in the pricing. So which is going to run us through some of the crazy pricing that you have to get in on to build your next PC for 2023. Also, speaking of paying for things, Mercedes has recently said that their new EQS, which is their top of the line EV with record-breaking range, that thing has some subscriptions that you may want to pay for. It might be worth it. Who knows? We're going to talk a little bit about that. And finally, we're also going to probably touch on some of other news items in here that are related. So stick around, and we've got more coming up. But speaking of things that are coming up, the credit card bill is coming up. And we are going to share some of our Black Friday buys with you right now. Both of us were pretty successful, I believe. And if we had that Black Friday show for you, we would have shared some of these deals with you. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough time to make that happen. But I'll go first. And actually, you know what? Let's do a quick round robin with you, Winston. Why don't I drop one and you drop the next one, and then I drop one and then you drop the next one? How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first piece of Black Friday that I picked up, Black Friday deal, was a piece of software called Cinematch. Now, what that is, it's a piece of software from Filmconvert, which some people may know as a color grading system for video and for films. I myself have never used that particular platform, but I do use things called LUTs, lookup tables, and also something called Red Giant, which some of you may know from the good old days when things were really aggressively colored. So I used to use that. I don't use it much anymore. But one thing that I struggled with was matching cameras and also getting the sensor data to properly bring it into the Rec 709 color space, which is like the normal, what you see is what you get color space off of a camera, right? So this software has been very expensive in the past, but for Black Friday, it was available for $99. Regular price was like $199. I use Premiere Pro, so I bought it specifically for that for $99. I took it and I tried it on some projects that I did in the past. I created a new grading layer. So, this is the layer where I would fuss with all the colors and everything like that. I just regraded something in a matter of keystrokes, where before it would have taken me like an hour just to kind of get it right. So for $99, if I do 2 projects, it's already worth it. So if you are a colorist, if you make films, if you work with multiple cameras and you're struggling with trying to get all the cameras to match, even GoPros, or drones. You get this piece of software. It's available at cinematch.com still. I think they're still running that promo till the end of the month. Yeah. What are you up to, Winston? What's your deal?
Quick question. So you see all this color match. What does it actually do to the footage? I just want to let viewers know about this color match system, because most people just film the footage and they just upload it, right? Or cut bits out and, add a little bit of music and stuff like that, and they just upload it. What does the actual color match do, the software?
Well, color match, what it does is this software takes the raw sensor data off of the camera that you're using. So let's just say that you're using a Sony a7 III, which is a very common camera these days. Lots of people still use it for filmmaking. It's still fantastic. It's not the best, but it's very capable.
Yeah.
And it's full frame. That sensor has certain data that's read off of it that when you put it into an editor, sometimes when you try to tweak the colors, it just doesn't go right because you're not doing it the way that the sensor wants it done. So what Filmconvert has done is they've taken sensor readouts from this sensor specifically, and they've allowed you to take that raw S-Log look that you've got off of the camera. So if you're filming in RAW or if you're filming in a log format, it'll take that washed out look and it'll bring it into the color space of Rec 709.
Right.
So it'll bring it properly in first. So your skin tones and everything, it should look right first.
So your face doesn't look too gray or
green in the case of Sony's.
Yeah, and then the water would be like, for example, you might film some water, it's too much reflection, like
it's aqua. Not reflection, but it's like if it's too blue or if it's too green, it'll take that out.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so it properly balances all those things out that you would normally do by hand, and you don't have to do that.
Right.
So bring it to the Rec 709.
It's almost like an auto correction kind of for the colors and all that kind of stuff.
Very much so. If you're using log, if you're filming in log, you know that image is it doesn't look right to anyone until you grade it. So this grading part allows you to get the full latitude of your sensor. And then after that point, you use the software to step through what kind of camera it is, what kind of color space it is. You convert that over to the color space that you want, and then you can make micro adjustments to get the image to look like what you were seeing the day that you were filming it first.
Right.
After that, what you can do is you can bring it into their own grading software called Filmconvert Nitrate, or you can use any other LUTs to put on and start working on your grade, which is the look that you want after you get the proper realistic reality look first. Now, the next step after this, though, is that let's just say that this is the camera that you have, but the other cameras in your chain are different. Let's just say that you were using an A7 III, Sony, or a C100 or C200 or any Canon, and then you've got a Blackmagic on the end of the chain. All three cameras are operating. What this allows you to do is it allows you to take your Sony. Now, because the Blackmagic has the best image, you take your Sony, you can actually take it, change it to Rec 709, and then you can apply
the same
a sensor, accurate, almost a lookup table or an adjustment to make it look like the Blackmagic that's at the end of the chain.
Right, I got you. So it kind of like normalizes all the other footage that you have to match your the best footage you have for your color, correction.
It makes all the cameras when you're cutting between the two look like they're exactly the same camera.
Okay, I get you.
Right, and this is something that is very difficult to do when you are dealing with three camera streams,
and if you're doing it manually.
You're doing it manually. So this for someone that's doing a multicam edit will save them hours of time, depending on how challenging everything is done. So for $99 for a colorist, for someone that's into filmmaking, who may not be the best color grader, I'm not. Color grading is probably one of the weakest things I have in my repertoire. I can make it look okay, but I can't give you the look. I can't give you that three-dimensional look.
Yeah, you want that camera. You want that less time on actual correcting the footage. You just want to apply it, get it sorted and set so that you can match it with all the rest of the footage. Okay, good. So the software.
This works from Premiere Pro, Adobe DaVinci Resolve, which is also free, available from Blackmagic. So if you're working in that software package, definitely. Like if you're doing at least two projects, I think this is worth it. With more than one camera, like weddings, holy crap, people are running around with 3-4 different cameras. You don't want to be doing this on the 24-hour edit.
I regularly I regularly film on the iPhone footage, and I also film on the camera. So I usually have these two footage and I kind of just put them in the editor. And for me, because I'm lazy, I didn't do any of the, like you said, color correction or anything like that. So you'll notice when I'm filming using the camera, it's one quality, one color kind of tone. And when I'm filming on the iPhone, you'll see it when I flip over to a different footage or section. They say, oh, it's totally different. But I see what you mean. It's when you're doing editing. Okay, cool.
So we're getting geeky here, but highly recommended.
Right.
If you're the right person. Ask me more questions in the comments below. How's
That's
that?
right. Well, I've got two items. I'll start with, loads of items, but I'll start with the two first and I'll match.
Okay.
Flip over to you. So I got the Show 8, Echo Show 8, right? And I was going to go for the 5. The Show 5, but I thought, okay, I get a bigger screen, so it's like, and the reason why is because the price is ridiculous. It was 69 US, and it's like 89 for the Canadian, but
that's right.
it comes with, it's a second gen 2021 model, which is just fine. It has all the Alexa stuff on there, and it kind of syncs with your calendar and voice commands. Prime Video, because I'm subscribed to Prime now. It's got everything. It organizes your calendar, reminders, news. It connects with Spotify, Netflix, everything. It was a little fantastic little unit. You can put it into your living room or your kitchen, and you can have all your scheduling for the day. It pops up. It speaks to you if you want. It's a really good interactive little kind of device, which I never thought. I thought it was just one of these smart monitor things which you can buy, and it just shows you your day. But you can actually interact with it, which is quite fun because, for 69 US, it's really good for that price. By the way, Black Friday, right? Because normal price is like 150 or
169 Canadian.
Yeah.
I also bought that. We bought the same thing. So my second item was also the same thing. Only you missed out on the free light bulb offer.
I did. So you always look out for better deals because I just got this as a unit. And crazy thing about Amazon Prime was I ordered it in the morning. It arrived in the afternoon. Yeah, that's like nuts. That's only with Prime subscription.
But let me add on to your offer. The most fun thing about having a smart display is being able to connect it to devices. And one of the devices that I found out that was actually available for a ridiculous price was actually the Blink indoor cams. Like Blink is kind of this this offshoot kind of value brand, I guess, in home security inside the Amazon ecosystem. And we're doing 2 of their indoor cams. Very small, they're tiny, they're like 1080p cameras. And regular was $84 for this bundle. It was $39 for Black Friday. So you can actually add 2 more cameras inside your home. Yeah. Maybe even looking outside. You don't even have to mount them outside. You can just plug them in on the inside and mount them inside your windowsill and have them looking outside for you. It's you can even have, like, if you're living somewhere that's very scenic, you can share that feed. Right, and if you have the right software, you can actually share that feed right into YouTube and stream it 24/7 and make some money.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Because I've seen people film their backyard, and the amount, like, crazy creatures just come into your backyard, whether it be like what's that, raccoons, and you can have like squirrels and everything, and birds flying everywhere.
If you're in Australia, I guess.
Yeah. So definitely something you could get. $39. Come on, it's ridiculously priced, and you can link it up to your Amazon. And
I think you should pick those up as well too. I think cameras are fun. Yeah, Winston, you need some cameras.
Oh yeah, I do.
Good bundle. Now you bought a bunch more stuff than I. Why am I waving this thing around? You bought some more stuff.
Even more stuff.
I did.
Gaming accessories. Remember that I complained about the prices of gaming accessories. Now they've dropped in price for some reason unknown. I don't know why. Maybe they heard my podcast. I don't know. But
maybe George and John over at Corsair said, "Oh, that Winston guy, he's like bitching again. What's going on?"
Yeah, so I managed to get some nice keyboards, some mice. I got one for $69, wireless, Bluetooth, 10 keyless, and I think it's got the brown switches, which is great. And then I've got the Corsair mouse, the Harpoon mouse, RGB wireless. You can go 2.4 gigahertz wireless using the wireless dongle or Bluetooth, and it comes with RGB, and it's got a funky little button on the top. It's 6 programmable buttons. One button on the top which controls the speed of your mouse pointer.
Yes,
which is fantastic,
very
right?
Important.
Yeah.
important.
So I can you don't have to scroll loads of times. You just flick up a switch and the mouse just goes everywhere, which is great. That one for $59. No, actually $49 now, right now.
Not bad.
On Amazon with the Black Friday. And I also got the mouse pad because I'm using it was a piece of cardboard for my mouse mat. So I got this mouse mat, again, Corsair branded, and that one was, I think, $17, $18. Now it dropped down to like literally less than half price, so $7, $8.50 Canadian, and I thought I got one of these. Really nice. 63-in-1 magnetic screwdriver set. You know, when you have when you're doing those little tiny screws for your motherboards or PC components or fixing your whatever that you need to do with the little tiny screws. Well, they comes with the magnetic bits, the screw bits on the top, and you just pick up those screws, and it's fantastic. 63 bits, screw bits in one, and that one, 19 Canadian dollars, which is around about 15 or 16 US. And I've got myself another wireless gaming mouse, and this time it's a SteelSeries Arctis 3 wireless. Again, RGB, lightweight, 68 grams. It gives you 200 hours of battery life, and it's fantastic because it's one of those mouse where it's see-through. It's got like hexagon honeycomb shaped kind of mold,
like this.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. So it gives you a little bit of airflow, if you know what I mean. Cools your hand a little bit because your hands will get sweaty, right? But anyway, that one again, around $51 US, which is great because then I can take that mouse with me when I'm traveling. So I got two mice. You always have to have spares just in case. Because backup definitely. Because one of my other mice broke. I was using nothing wired, kind of like the bundled ones, which wasn't that great. And especially if you need to go travel, you could lose your mouse. It could happen, right? And the thing about wireless dongles, the 2.4 gigahertz ones, you can lose that dongle. Yeah. So always go for one with Bluetooth option, I think. Yeah. Because I
didn't with this guy.
Oh, this doesn't go with Bluetooth?
No, it doesn't. But that's why it was so cheap. They pulled the Bluetooth radio out of this thing. It comes with a dongle. But it was on launch day. It was $39. It might still be that same price. It still has it has an older sensor, but I like it. It sits at my desk. Yeah, I'm not taking this anywhere, right? So that's okay. Right. I might still look up a wireless Bluetooth mouse. Cyber Monday deals or Cyber Week nowadays. There's still offers out there, and people aren't necessarily looking. Like I think in a sense, a lot of people have already purchased all of their work at home stuff 2 years ago, and they're not looking for more. So maybe
they might want to get rid of the old stock, so they put it in cheaper. Yeah.
So I'll be looking for more deals. So thank you for reminding me, Winston. You've got Anker Powercore Fusion 10,000. I want you to show this thing because it's actually very unique. Has a really unique feature that I think people will appreciate. Yeah. It's got this what is it?
It's a power bank. Okay, so when you're using power bank and it charges your phone, great. You got the cable just from the power bank to your device. You charge that. All right. So when the power bank it's out of juice, what you do, you get another cable to plug it in, and you plug that cable into a wall charger just to charge that power bank, right?
That's right.
But this one has a built-in two-prong connector, which plugs straight into the wall. So you're plugging that power bank straight into the wall, and it charges that power bank. Wait, it also doubles as a power charger for your devices. For example, you could then use that power bank as standalone when you're traveling, or plug it to the wall and use it as a wall charger at the same time.
Nice. So it saves a lot of space then. I think that's
and cabling, and helpful. You don't have to think about I need a USB charger just to charge my power bank. That's you just put that two-prong plug connector straight into the wall. And then you're charging straight away. It comes with a USB-A port, which is universal, and it also comes with a USB-C port, which a lot of the new devices have to have the USB-C, which is great. So
how much is this thing again? $54?
It's about $54 US, which is about 65-ish for Canadian, and I think it's definitely something that is perfect for people who's traveling. And I use it a lot as well at home, even just plug
That's
it
pretty
into.
neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Actually, it's a good time. Space saver. One of the things that was also, I don't know if it was on Black Friday. Many people probably missed this one, but this one here is the same capacity. It's 10,000 milliamp hour, but it's no longer available on the Amazon website. It's actually sold out.
Right.
But this guy here is same milliamp hour, but it has a Qi charging pad right on it.
All right.
So you know how you're always fishing for a cable?
Yeah.
And you don't have it? Well, now you can just, like your headset and everything, you just pop that on top and you just charge it. Makes it a lot easier to get around with this, but you still have to charge it with a cable, obviously. So that's where Winston's device makes it very very convenient, and for traveling as well too. But this is also useful as well too. So if you need to have like a backup bank that you've charged off of Winston's device, you can take this with you, put it in your backpack, charge this when you're at the cafe sipping your latte.
Yeah. Well, my thing was to have the same power bank, but with wireless Qi charging. So in other words, like a 3-in-1, which I think I'm asking a bit too much, right? But if Anker's watching this, hey, that's a new design you could think of. Get a built-in power bank with a wall charger plus a Qi wireless, all 3-in-1. That'd be good.
Yeah, I think the reason why it doesn't have that is because if you plug it into a wall, how are you going to put the device on it to charge it? I mean, maybe that's why they don't do it, but it would be great to have it charged off the wall, and then you can plunk it down on something. So I think, not the best of both worlds, but you can have one of these and you can also have one of those. This was $44 when I picked it up. It was actually a really good price, but I think this is the reason why it sold out so quickly, was because of that price point. Getting a 10,000 milliamp hour, charging pad with USB-C and USB-A on it, these days is something that people want. And this has the latest, Power IQ, whatever the heck version it is. And that charges your phone as fast as possible. So what can you say? And this is also a quick charging pad for the Qi. It's like, I think it's 15 watts, which is pretty much the max.
Yeah, 50 watts. Yeah.
So 15. So there you go. Moving on, you've got some other stuff to show. Tell us about.
Yeah. I got this headset, the Steelseries Arctis Nova 1P. This one,
that was on sale. Yeah, that's right.
It's on sale. Go and get it, because the audio is pretty cool. It's nice and sound. And what I like about it is it has a detachable 3.5 millimeter cable. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why do you need that? People go for USB, right, these days. Yeah, sure. But this cable allows you then to connect to other devices that don't support the USB, such as all your gaming consoles, your mobile phones, and other devices that still use 3.5, including my mixer right now, which I'm using for this recording and this podcast. 3.5 millimeter is still a thing. And I love this because you could, it's not wireless. You need that cable, otherwise it won't work, this 3.5. But it has a retractable mic if you wanted. So if your mic dies, you can always take this out, have that, and it'll work great. And it also has all the in-ear controls, volume, mute button, everything. And it's really comfortable, lightweight, and it's Amazon. I got it for $49, but right now it's probably cheaper. So do a Amazon search, Steelseries Arctis Nova P1 or 1P. It's available right now. Yeah.
And for those of you that want a wireless headset for traveling, that want Bluetooth connectivity and everything like that, I did see that over the Cyber Week sales, and it might still be on right now if you get them in time. The Anker Soundcore Q20 is an older headset that they have. It's wireless, comes with some sort of a case or a bag. It doesn't switch from device to device like the Q20 Plus. So this is why it's the older model. But but they were offering a $20 coupon that took the price down to $59. This does have microphones in it, beamforming microphones. It has a like kind of a hybrid noise cancellation on board. So if you are traveling and you want something that's wireless to block out your neighbor that wants to, you can get this. I think that's a great value, especially because I think a lot of people want to travel more in 2023. And I think that, because of the price, it's worth it. You can also do your conference calls, your Zoom calls off it. You just set it up as as the sound source for input and also output, and then you can do your calls on the road. So also
nice.
very good value. So there's a wired option for your computer and also for portability, or you can go full portable with the Anker Soundcore Q20, which is also on sale. Great values.
Yeah.
What else, Winston?
And finally, the Elgato, excuse me, Elgato Wave 1. Okay, so I've got the Wave 3. Wave 1 is a not a lower model. It's just that it has less options in terms of like volume controls and other selection for, devices and things like that. So the Wave 1 is just as good. Great audio quality. This is a great mic for podcasts, okay, and streaming and things like that. So I'm using a Shure mic, of course, with all the connections and USB device interface and stuff like that. But for traveling, this mic is very compact. It's very similar to the Rode, is it NT1? Like
the new Rode X 50. It's a small one.
It's a small one. I think it's called the NT, right? NT1. It's the Rode.
And then there's also the USB mic mini NT USB mini. Yeah.
Yes. So it's very similar to that. It's compact. It's small. You can take that with you anywhere you want to go. For example, if you're traveling away and you still need to do that podcast or streaming and things like that, it's compact and lightweight. So you can take that with you. USB connection, bang straight in. Audio quality is very good. And that's all you probably ever need. And I think for the price, it's around about $80 Canadian, $69, $70 US. So it's something that you could definitely look into and getting. For example, if you're traveling a lot and you want to do those podcasts, good mic to travel and pack with you. So
yeah. Let's speaking of something that you can add on to that. I know this is a Rode specific product, and we touched on that when we were talking about Rode's new announcements of the Rode X brand.
Yeah.
We spoke about some software on there called Unify, and this is their new software package that basically allows you to take a Rodecaster Pro in your laptop with you, so without taking their console with you. That offers a lot of the same functionality, but you have to use it with their USB mics or with mics through a USB interface. They just that software only came free when you bought a Rode X mic, and they were saying that it was going to be about $5 a month. Well, you can actually get that software for $1 for the year. It's actually a Black Friday Cyber deal. So if you want to support Rode, and they're really supporting creators these days, I still have to pick up that software. I actually want to try it out for $1. It's worth it to actually check it out. You have a full mixer inside your system with routing and everything like that. Really cool. And that means that if you are doing Zoom calls and you want to, route the audio from your webcam off to something else, or have two people talk at the same time, maybe. There's a lot of possibilities with that. I don't know what kind of features they're unlocking for the software. I know that some of the features were restricted to Rode X microphones, but who knows? Maybe this is their way to kind of say, hey, for $1, try it out. You're going to love it because it's $1. You're going to be addicted
for $1
when you want to do.
Yeah.
You can't lose. You can't lose.
Sure.
All right. So speaking of things that you can't lose on, it looks like in the masterclass market, a certain green graphics card manufacturer is teaching up a storm. What are we learning this week from Nvidia? All
right, another controversy. It was rumored a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, about the RTX 40 series launch. That they hit the RTX 4090, which is great, very expensive, very powerful, but had problems with the PCIe 5 power connectors, which melted. Okay. And then they had the RTX 4080, kind of just level one down, with 16 gigabytes. Again, very good performance, amazing card, but at $1,199. Again, very expensive. And then they had also at the same time, they announced the RTX 4080 12 gigabytes. But unfortunately, people found out that the performance of that card was very similar to a 30 series kind of mid-range card, and people were just going crazy because why are they? Yeah, it's not an upgrade, and you're paying $899 for that. So
that's a lot.
So they unlaunched it, right? They unlaunched it.
On launching products.
That's right. So they unlaunched the RTX 4080 12 gigabytes, and someone found out there was a rumor saying, oh yeah, they're going to relaunch something else. And now I think we've got not full confirmation, but I think they're going to be renaming it to an RTX 4070 Ti. So RTX 4070 Ti is the unlaunched RTX 4080 12 gigabytes.
Well done.
And
Well
that
done.
will probably be launched around probably January 2023. And you'll probably see some of those cards on the CES show in January. Costs same price, $899, and I think it's kind of like not step down, but it's if you're using the older 30 series cards, that's the card I would go for, to be honest with you. Right? If you're going to go for the next gen, kind of with more performance, better features, then go for the 4080 16 gig, or if you got the money, go for the 4090, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the 20 series, for example, then this card could be something that you could look into. But $899 though, don't forget the reason why I do recommend people not to go for this is because Radeon AMD have launched their 7900 graphics cards. The highest end one they had is the 7900 XTX, and that has 24 gigabytes, and it competes with the 4080, and it's only $999.
That's top end. That's
right?
crazy.
That's top end Radeon, and it competes the same performance, or could be better than the 4080. 16 gig.
What's that thing about just dropping it in and making it work?
That's right. You don't need to upgrade your power supply. You don't need to do anything else. No need special cables. You just swap out the old card, put it in. It's as simple as that.
So easy.
And that is for the AMD Radeon, which is people, I think, are going for it because the graphics cards are being released next month. Yeah. And hopefully that then we'll see AMD boost their sales of their graphics cards and stuff like that. And I think people will definitely think, hey, this year and possibly the better half of next year will be Team Red winning.
Yeah, I'm so glad that at least one manufacturer is not going to have to deal with this mess of having to redo all their artwork, their PCBs, and junk a bunch of chips.
Yeah.
Right.
So
seriously,
I don't know what's happening with Nvidia. Their marketing normally are pretty good, but then this year they've just messed up. I don't know why.
Like EVGA walked because of this crap. I mean, imagine if they had to deal with this, they would be so mad right now.
Yeah,
and they're the biggest.
Yeah, that's right. And the only people that are able to kind of like take the flak, I suppose, or take all the full BS from Nvidia is the big manufacturers like Asus, right? They're so huge that this is not their main business anyway. So, it's something that they have. Yes, Asus have great graphics cards as well. MSI is another. MSI, you probably think, oh, they only make motherboards. No, they don't. Actually, they probably make about 40% of the world's graphics cards. They OEM graphics cards, by the way, for people who don't know, MSI. And Gigabyte, they also have their own boards, but then they do other, their other business is the industrial motherboards for industrial machines and things like that. People that, again, don't realize that those are the backbone core businesses that they have, so they can survive on those. And all the other consumer products is really more of a side thing.
This is not a focus.
Yeah, that's right. And so they don't think about, they don't lose a lot of money from, oh yeah, okay, Nvidia's changed this, changed that. Okay, we'll just have a few cards. That's not bothering us. But for small companies like EVGA, where their core business is graphics cards, that's a big hit.
That's a huge hit.
Yeah.
But at least they make more money off of the accessories and the power supplies. And hopefully I wish them a lot of luck in that. I know that this relationship has not been profitable. It hasn't been. It's not been profitable for them. So I hope they wrap up, and I hope the team's okay over there, especially Jacob. I mean, he's been with that company for ages, and maybe they do motherboards. Who knows? Like, their motherboards are really good at the
time. They're very good. And they've recently moved on to AMD motherboards. That's something which I thought will never happen because they've always been Intel and Nvidia. Yeah. So now they're starting to make AMD motherboards, and who knows? They said they're out of the graphics card game, but that's with Nvidia. Yeah. They might have to do with AMD. Who knows?
Maybe they'll do Intel. Who knows?
Or Intel graphics cards. Yeah, maybe. But I've noticed they recently launched some new cases. Like high-end open chassis cases, something. I think people are into PC modding, which I think we covered a couple of podcasts, Joe. It's a piece of work of art, right? The cases that they do, the modifying and the cutting and all these different shapes. So yeah. PC modding is probably one of those things that sectors that they could get into.
Well, if anything, I see Nvidia, because they were first to do this, is that they're going to go direct to consumer. They're just going to cut out the middlemen. They're making all the money anyhow, and they also know what the drivers are. They don't have to rely on anyone for launch day. They're just going to control the entire stack.
Yeah,
and I think that's what they're working on.
They probably want to be another Apple, right? Buy our products only, and we'll release drivers that perform better on our cards.
Well, we'll have to see if that prediction is true, but they're moving in that direction. I mean, they're hey, you know what? Tesla is one of their biggest customers. Maybe they took some hints from Elon and said, hey, you know what? We're gonna sell direct. We're gonna sell direct and make that profit back that we were missing from dealing with all these, like these peon OEMs that, like, oh, we're too great for that. Maybe that's where they're going. Who knows, right? I mean, there is profit in that, but there's also value in relationships. So depending on, pros and cons, right? Moving on, speaking of hardware, we've also recently heard that amongst other companies, Facebook was one of the first, how I would say, OG social media companies to let go of a bunch of staff after this, after Twitter released 50,000, or actually half their workforce. It was obviously Mark Zuckerberg being more empathetic to everything and being there at the beginning. He was quite upset about releasing the staff, because everyone there, I have to imagine that he feels more for his team. He's definitely of all the leaders. Depending, people love him or hate him, but he's probably more of the guy that would feel that emotion of letting go of all these families. He himself is a family man, dedicated dad. Like and letting these people go really hurt him.
Yeah, I mean, what was the reason for letting all those employees go? Is because of the low sales in figures in revenue and stuff like that,
or it's a number of factors, because they're a publicly traded company, just like Twitter was, and just like a couple other companies are. They have to answer to their shareholders, right?
That's true.
As a publicly traded company, they have to answer to their shareholders, and they have to be profitable. So I think what happened is that there was pressure for them to actually cut people from their workforces, but do it in a more methodical and empathetic way to get to cut out the right mix of people that are going to impact the business the least amount, but keeping the maximum amount of people. But even then, to have 11,000 employees globally let go is a huge number. We would have to say that that's probably anywhere from the education department, the sales teams, all of that probably found, like their lowest performers had to go. In the interim, maybe some ancillary or auxiliary employees in the building as well too. Like, I mean, a lot of companies are letting go of their receptionists. Even they're not hiring them back. So positions like that, where they're assistants, where like they're just not in their mind. It's like, what, this is nice to have. This person's nice to have when times are good, but when times are lean, we can't have this additional expense.
It's the same with a lot of the other big companies, where I think when it comes to cuts or trimmed down, I think one of the biggest departments that gets affected are the IT department.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, they were just when I was working for GE, they were just right. Okay, we need to slim down. Boom, right. What don't we need? Okay, we don't need this, we don't need that. And if you look at all the stuff they don't need, it's actually, most of it is in the IT department. I'm thinking, great. Thanks, yeah.
Well, to be perfectly honest, just like Twitter, Facebook, it was a long time coming. I mean, you have these, and this is probably what set things off, because I know Mark Zuckerberg knows, but there are some influencers out there that flaunt their Facebook life. And you know what? They really should have shut up. And there was this one video on TikTok where this girl wakes up at like X o'clock. She goes to her cafe place. She has her latte. Oh, look at my lunchroom at Facebook headquarters. I'm overlooking, look at this place I'm looking. It's so wonderful. I'm only 20 something and, I'm beautiful. And, right? Okay. You are fired. You are not necessary. What do you do again? I mean,
that's it.
This is one time when you keep your head down and you work hard.
Oh yeah. I mean,
this is the time.
That's right. Especially, like I said, recent firings of, especially, I think, really, who started it? Elon started it.
Elon started
right?
the
because
fire.
It's not just Facebook, but also HP are cutting staff. Amazon is cutting staff. So the entire sector of, you say, IT, of staff, companies and stuff like that, they're cutting staff. And I think, I think this year alone, there's been a lot of layoffs of those type of companies. It's because if you look at the stock market, I know it has something to do with it, because if you look at all the big major tech companies, they've been underperforming the entire this year. And especially if you look at stocks of AMD and Nvidia, Intel, they literally dropped like 60-70% from its peak.
If you have extra cash, it's a good time to buy, but you might also want to keep that cash in the place where you can get at it.
Yeah. So I'll just say, because of that, underperforming stocks mean shareholders not happy. Therefore, they need to fire staff. So that's
unprofitable sectors of the company need to go. Mm-hmm. And one of the sectors that has, like, to be perfectly honest, it wasn't a bad product. It just wasn't viable. But the portal
spent a lot of money on it, right?
Is now dead. So that entire division inside Facebook is gone, or is gone in the way that they're operating as a focus to put out updates and everything for the portal display. It came out a year or so ago, and it was actually not a bad device. It just didn't have the traction as much as the Alexa's Echoes did, as much as even Google's devices. Those are way more popular, and it seemed like they were just really trying to catch up with Facebook with the portal display. Didn't work out for them. They're also on Black Friday deal for $84. They're a good display. I just don't know what you're going to do with them once they discontinue the software.
But that's the thing. Does it integrate with your calendars? Does it integrate with all your scheduling and things like that? Because that's the,
I don't like it. It might have those features, but how are you going to get at them after they shut down that division? Like, how long do you have support for, right?
Right.
For $84, I know that this is a bigger display, but I would still rather have an Echo Show 8.
Oh yeah, they have the right. Echo Show 8, and they also have the Echo Show 10. And then I recently just searched online on Amazon. They have the Echo Show 15. What the? The screens get bigger and bigger, right?
That thing is meant to magnetically attach to your fridge.
Oh,
it's so big.
Really? Okay.
Such a big thing, right? So I think that would be the best place for it. If you were to be able to put it anywhere in your house, the fridge would be the best place for it. If you don't already have a smart fridge, because it is so huge. Like, where else are you going to put that thing? Like, it doesn't stand up on its own. It's not a picture frame. It would be great for recipes, but having it on your fridge for your grocery list and everything, it would be perfect, right? And I use that for groceries as well.
I have one more thing I want to mention. So I was searching on the Amazon, and I found this Fire TV with a remote, the voice remote, and that will be my next purchase, right? And the reason why is, after reading I think the comments and the reviews, one of the I think it was a girl, in fact, and she says, "Oh, this unit is great." I thought, well, what's so great about it? You just plug it into your TV and watch your movies. She said in the comments, "I take this with me traveling." I think, why?
What?
So that when she's in a hotel, she can plug that the Fire Stick.
Oh, the Fire TV. I thought you meant the Fire display. Yeah, no, I do that too.
Yeah, they plug that stick into the hotel TV, and with the remote, then you can just watch all your favorite shows.
Yeah, I do that too. I bring along a Fire TV 1080p because most of the TVs are not 4K, and I bring that with me. I have my account attached to that.
Yeah,
and if I thought,
wow. That's a great idea. And I thought, okay, I think it's on sale again. It's $40, $49 or something like that. So, wow, that's the next thing I'm going to be getting.
Okay, back to Facebook. I know we kind of veered off here a second, but one of the things that will also not make it to light is also the watch that they were working on. They were working on the watch for 2023 launch. It was supposed to be $300 or so. It was supposed to compete favorably against all the other watches out there, with one distinction, which was the cameras. It would actually have cameras on it, and would give you the ability to conference with people as you're walking around. So it would be like that's kind of neat, actually. I don't mind that. It would be a unique feature, but in this day and age, I think people are looking for more functionality, and that wasn't enough. And to be perfectly honest, Facebook hasn't had the best, or Facebook or Meta now didn't have the best history with hardware. I mean, you might remember the Facebook phone. They never launched.
I saw some phones years ago. I can't remember which brand. It could be Samsung or LG or HTC. It had a Facebook button on there.
Yeah, it didn't make it it didn't launch the way that I think people wanted it to launch, as a standalone phone to the mass market. I think it came out and then it was pulled or something like that. I don't remember the entire story. So this begs the question, is that Mark Zuckerberg is now betting on the metaverse. He's spending so much money.
There's a lot of money.
He's burning billions of dollars on getting the metaverse up and running. He's partnered with Microsoft. He's doing everything possible to create this space where no one can touch him right now, the metaverse space, and to build an ecosystem that he can live in that has no other competitors presently. Because it relies on hardware, will the Oculus headset, will that division be next? Right?
It's hard to say, because, I mean, metaverse is a new thing, right? Well, I wouldn't say it's a new thing. It's been maybe early on, some really like pre kind of like a launch, but now it's still early days. I'm guessing a lot of people like me and you, I wouldn't even really touch it, to be honest with you.
I don't have a headset yet, and
how much is the headset?
It's I think it starts at $500 US.
$500 US, right? For something which you could. You might use it once a week, if less than that. And what are you going to use it for? It's going to take a while for it to, take the attraction. Like early days of the mobile phones, it's going to be expensive, and nobody's going to be using it.
It is expensive. It's very expensive right now.
And you have to have a reason for people to go into this metaverse. If you say you're going to be virtually there for someone's birthday or someone's celebration and stuff like that, that means everybody else has to wear it, right? Not just you. Make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
So nobody's going to be wearing this thing just to celebrate some other person's birthday, without other people's got to be wearing it too. Yeah. Which is, if you had something like I said, probably what we've seen some of the sci-fi films, right? Holodeck, the holographic stuff. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Because then, but look, you don't have to wear anything. You just switch it on. That person's there holographically.
Yeah.
Right.
But having said that, it's come a long way. I mean, the first headsets were so huge that you had to carry it in a case. Now you can carry it in your backpack and take it on the plane. I think our mutual friend Anshul Sag, over at Moore Insights, he actually takes one with him everywhere. Because it's small enough now, right? He has a big one at home, but like with the latest iteration, it's something that he can take with him, and it's viable. I think he takes it with him to conferences when he's bored. He can do that in his.
I think it's great for I think it's great for gaming. It's very hard to imagine you could use this productively. I don't know what kind of applications could you use it for.
They're looking at workspaces. They're looking at all sorts of things like that. Virtual keyboards, which actually, to be perfectly honest, like having the keyboard show up.
Oh, it's like tapping the air, like
tapping the air. Like that doesn't work quite yet. I think there's going to be a little bit more iteration until that happens. But someone's got to do it. And if this pays off for Zuckerberg, he's going to be a hero with his own space. It's not the regular internet that people want to get into. But if he's wrong, he could ruin. This might be the hill that they finally die on. Facebook might actually die.
Yeah, that's true.
And turn into a MySpace as a result of them not having the space anymore, because they focus so much on this space and not on the regular internet space that, like, who knows? Right? Who knows?
Yeah. It's one of those things. Is it part of Web 3.0? Is that what it is?
I
or
think
is it
this is his own space.
this is his own
The
space?
metaverse is his own is more or less his own.
Oh,
It's so far removed. Like Web 3.0 for most people will be exactly the same as 1 and 2.
that's true.
Like
True.
it's gonna be the same. This is different. You actually have to get inside the space to be able to interact with it, right?
Didn't they have a film back in the 90s? It was called
Hackers?
The Lawnmower Man.
Oh yeah. I think I remember that. Yeah.
That was like a virtual space that they kind of
virtual
got
space.
into, right? And
Tron was too.
yeah. Tron, things like that was in the 80s. Like you said, this could be the hill that they die on if it doesn't work out.
If it doesn't work, they're dead. Like seriously, so much money, so much effort in partnerships. If everyone in Silicon Valley decides not to play in this space with Mark Zuckerberg, and they're lucky they have Microsoft, because that's a lot of money that they can bring in, because all those software suites, Microsoft Teams and everything, living in that space, being able to work like they envisioned, if they can make that work, that would actually be great. Because I think the problem right now is that a lot of different companies want their employees inside the office. But what if they didn't have to be inside the office? What if they could, like, and I'm taking something from what Mark Zuckerberg is saying, is that what if, like a laptop, I can give you this headset to work inside the space instead of a laptop. You would be present with me. I can see your expressions. I can see whether I can still interact with you.
But
that would be a bridge.
Yeah. You're not
That
the actual physical office, but you're at home, but you're still virtually there.
You're still virtually there. You're still present and engaged. And I think that is what's missing from Zoom calls, right? Like I could just put up a cardboard cut up of myself and just go make lunch. But
have you seen that guy with the with the green screen?
I know. But in this space, I can't be. I actually have to be there. I can't fake my interaction with you. And I think that's the biggest difference. So we shall see. Now, speaking of, and just so you know, I don't have any ill will against the TikToker that was flaunting her Facebook life. I hope she's okay. I hope she's moved on to another role if she was indeed fired. And I hope that the 11,000 employees worldwide do find some way to make ends meet. This is a very tough time for tech space. Like you're saying, all the companies are letting people go in the tech space. They have very specialized skills that they've learned at these companies through a process, and hopefully they are able to learn these skills to get themselves into other companies as well to need their help. Now, speaking of hardware, price drops, a different kind of cut.
Yeah, that's right.
For consumers. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so AMD launched their 7000 series of processors about a month ago. So there was a massive launch, and AM5 platform, new platform, you need a new chipset for the motherboard and everything. It's basically AMD's next generational jump in performance because it uses new DDR5 RAM. It's a new chip design, 5 nanometers. Remember, Intel's still on 10 nanometers.
Wow.
So 5 nanometers chip. It's got a new socket, AM5, which is the LGA pinless, and
no pins.
No pins on the chip.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the pins are actually on the board. Yeah, so it's an amazing new platform, performance-wise, amazing. In fact, it beats the Intel. It depends on what you do, but I think for gaming and some content creation, this chip is amazing. Amazing for the price as well, right? So that was a big launch, and I've actually tested some of these motherboards and the new chip, and it's fantastic, right? It's fantastic. I love it. But so the thing is, when it was launched, I think some people were hesitant to change the board because they're still on the old AM4 platform, the older Ryzen AMD.
This isn't backwards compatible.
It's not compatible. Yes, right. Okay. So it's a new platform, new chip, new everything, right? So people are reluctant to change over yet, because you need to change the whole board, you need to change everything, RAM and all that. So they're reluctant a little bit. And also people who are on Intel are, again, diehard fans. They don't want to change over to AMD just yet without seeing real day performance, right?
I don't blame them. Yeah.
So sales of AMD chips of the new 7000 series wasn't as what AMD expected. You can't blame them because users are reluctant to change just yet, especially towards the end of the year. So what they did, they lowered the price of their Ryzen 7000 series, and boy, what a big difference in price. So you can get the latest Ryzen 9 7950X, the biggest one, the flagship chip that they have right now, for 750 Canadian, 699 US, right? Compared to some of the Intel chips, which are around about 800 plus, right? People don't go for the high-end one because, again, they don't really need it, but that's a 16-core. Now, the next one down is a 12-core processor, 7900X, and that is 630 Canadian, 440 US.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing price.
and Intels aren't even at this. Intels are still at 12 cores.
The difference in cores is the difference in types of cores. So what Intel did now, they've changed it into, rather than just pure cores and threads, they did what Apple are doing. So they have performance cores and efficiency cores. So efficiency cores are not matched to the highest one. So the performance cores is what you're looking at. Performance cores are the real cores, and it'll give you if the program is written specifically for using those extra cores, such as content creation, streaming, things like that, then you will utilize the performance cores. Efficiency cores is when you're idling, doing a lot of stuff. Then the efficiency cores come in because of the power energy saving difference you get. So that's you have benefits and disadvantages and stuff like that. So, but you got to look into it. Whereas AMD's processors are pure cores. So you've got 16 cores on the highest end one. That gives you 32 threads, right?
Yeah.
Again, not all application and your PC, PC and processor will run at the full speed, because if it's idling, you don't need all those 16 cores active, right?
No, you don't.
Right. So that's the highest end one, and 7950X. And the next one that I said, 7900, it's only 12 cores, but it's still giving 24 threads. And that, again, 440 US is amazing. And I think people will go for the more commonly priced difference. That's the 7700X. And that is an 8-core, 350 US. Which
more
is about 450.
Gaming.
More than enough.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a gaming. That's the gaming sweet spot.
And that is that's what people go for. So if you're gaming, everyday use, if you want to build a new system, the 7700X is the one to go for. 8 cores at 350 US. That's an amazing
So you can
price.
build a competent gaming system for under $2,000. So 450 plus 600 for a GPU plus RAM, which is probably anywhere between $100 to $200. Like SSD, probably another 150. Yeah, you could have a really competent system for that.
That's right. But if you want extra performance for content creation, video, and things like that, then go for the 7900 X or the 7950X. That's the highest end one they have. So AMD are dropping their prices. That was announced, I think, about a couple of weeks ago. Check out some of the Black Friday deals. They could bundle it with other things. For example, you could go for the RAM and the processor, processor and the board. So check out some of the deals on Amazon. Definitely worth a look. Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of paying money for things, one place that you never thought that you would be paying for features is actually in a car, right? I mean, when Elon Musk started to ask people to pay for things that were already installed inside their vehicles to unlock that performance, like the seat heaters or some other features like self-driving, et cetera, and these were not cheap upgrades. These were thousands of dollar upgrades, all the way down to hundreds of dollars to get your seat heaters that were already installed in the vehicle to work. And this is all controlled centrally at their network operation center.
So you're saying that the heated seats and everything are already in the car?
Most Teslas are built with everything already inside.
Everything, all the top options. Yeah, they just enable, disable depending on the configuration that you pay for. Is that right?
Yeah. A lot of those features are that way. You can't just put them back in. They used to do that with the battery. So the battery was actually the full-size battery, but they would unlock it. But because these days the batteries are very expensive, like to get batteries into vehicles, like there's a shortage, not a cost problem. It's a shortage. They're building the batteries properly sized now, but in the past they would actually put the full size battery and even the short range one, and all you would have to do is just pay to unlock the rest of the battery. It was just sitting there, right? So this is not something that's new. This is something that Elon has actually influenced in the industry, but it took quite some time until the rest of the industry started to catch up with this way of thinking, right? So now you've got earlier I think it was a couple of years ago, BMW wanted to start charging for heated seats on a subscription basis, right? Now, I don't know how much that feature costs, but I know that most people only use it like 2 or 3 times a year during 2 or 3 times a month, right?
Winter time.
3 months of the year, right?
Yeah.
You would use the heated seats, right? So that feature, you know what? I think it was like $9 a month. And if that feature was, if you keep the car for 5 years, you amortize it, you do the total cost, it might actually be worth it for you not to keep that feature for the whole year. You just pay for the months that you use it. I don't know if that was the way that they worked out the payment structure, but I could see that being a cost savings, right? It's a feature I don't use most of the year except for this time of year. And for people in California, you might not use that feature at all, right?
So with these features, are they kind of one payment to get the whole thing, or is it a subscription based?
It's subscription
per month.
It's subscription. Okay. At least Elon unlocked that feature if you pay for it. But in the case of the BMW, it was a feature that you would have to pay on a monthly basis. They probably had annual plans as well too. This is not unlike some of the functionality of some of the GM vehicles like OnStar. That was something that they put out. It was a subscription basis. You could track your vehicle, shut it down, stuff like that. That was subscription basis because you get extra value from that. That's an external service. But like people had a lot of problems wrapping their head around paying for heated seats that are already installed in the vehicle, right?
Hey, I want to tell you a story. I'm not sure if it's true. You can verify that for me, right? I was back in the UK and I was speaking to my friend about electric vehicles because he was thinking of purchasing one, but then he also has his doubts. But he also had a story which it was quite interesting because he told me his friend has bought an electric vehicle from a leasing company, right?
Okay.
So this leasing company is not part of the, I'm not sure which brand. I don't think it's a Tesla, but it was another brand. So it's on lease. And just saying, for example, he might have bad credit. Okay. Either case, he was able to get that electric vehicle on leasing.
Yep.
And he was saying that the company, the leasing company, installed something on this electric vehicle. It could be part of the system. I don't know. It could be something extra.
Yeah.
But he basically says he's paying monthly on a leasing. Imagine he didn't pay that month installment. Okay. Then that car will know that he didn't pay for that month's installment, and therefore it will just basically inoperable. You can't drive it. It just, it won't allow him to drive because he didn't pay that installment. Is that something that is feasible? Do you think that is something that could be done remotely?
I've never heard of that.
Imagine that
being a problem here. But I know, like I was saying, OnStar allows you to disable the vehicle.
That's what I mean. Disables the vehicle.
It's not an electric vehicle thing. It's actually been around for years.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's been around for years. The fact that it's all only coming up right now is a talking point for people that hate EVs. I could turn off your GMC van from the call center. I can just call in and say, hey, my van was stolen. This is my license plate number. I got all your information. I'll shut down your van.
Seriously, just like that.
I'll shut down your truck.
Okay.
You think your GM truck's so great? I'll shut it down too with OnStar.
Right? Oh, so there's a company that does that. It allows you to disable.
It's a GM company. It's GMC.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's General Motors OnStar subscription service. Whether you pay for it or not, it doesn't matter. But they have the ability to use the cellular modem inside your vehicle and shut down the vehicle. And they use it for police chases and stuff like that. As long as that modem is active in your vehicle, it can be shut down.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It can be shut down.
Is that something that they've actually put into or integrated into these electric vehicles? Do you think?
I don't believe that my Kia does that. Right? I know that Elon Musk's vehicles have a lot more connectivity, mainly because they they borrow a lot of that technology between SpaceX and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's true too.
So that technology is probably there. They are probably able to disable vehicles if needed, just like they were able to unlock additional capacity in supported vehicles when certain hurricanes and tornadoes happened inside the US, earlier in the decade.
Yeah.
So that happened there. But as far as I know,
and they probably able to, what do you call them, do the firmware upgrade over the air, right?
But
on the fly.
A leasing company to be able to do that, that sounds like an aftermarket solution that you can put on any vehicle. Okay. It's like cutting the 12-volt leads. It's like cutting that off. If it's locked to your 12-volt leads and you disconnect them, your car's dead.
Right. Okay.
You just turned off the taps to that. It's dead, right? You could even have a shunt on your fuel line. It's dead, right? It's not a specific thing. It might make it easier in the long run, but for things to be clamped onto things to make it go off, it's probably easier to do that in a gas vehicle than it is in an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Because you have to get Tesla to sign off on it. You have to get GM to sign off on it. You have to get a bunch of people to sign off on it because it's all firmware and all software related, right? You're not just going to be able to, the leasing company wants this feature put in and we want the car shut off. No, it doesn't work that way. You would be better off doing an aftermarket solution. No way. That's weird.
There you go. So how much is this subscription-based thing that you're talking about for these new cars?
So, it's funny. We already know that self-driving is anywhere between, depending on when you got it, it's $4,000 to $10,000 on the Tesla. Right. You have to purchase it. It's only available to the person that purchased it, not the person that buys it after. So to continue to use these services, you have to actually buy it again. I don't know if that license carries to the person to their next Tesla. That's something I never looked into. But it would suck if you had that license and you couldn't transfer it like an operating system. Like a Windows license,
I see.
Right?
It must be per user account, right? Because if the car is the same, has all these features, you either disable or enable it, right? So it should follow your account. So when you log in to your your new Tesla or someone else's Tesla, then you should enable all the features, I guess.
If someone that drives a Tesla knows this for a fact that has changed their Tesla recently, please leave a comment below. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know anyone that's actually done this. They usually still have their Tesla 5 years from now with the self-driving and everything like that. And they're probably still using the car because there's no reason to replace it. But if you've changed your Tesla recently, you had self-driving and your new car has self-driving, I want to know if you paid for that or if it just carried on with your account. Drop us a line. I don't know. True. That's definitely something that we should find out about. But the latest, and this is also funny, Audi did something to your car in the console where if you didn't pay for something, it would shame you. So maybe
how do they shame you?
It's like, this feature, you cheap asses. I don't know what the wording was. It's like it's not available on your trim level or something like that.
Okay.
But it might be something that's already built in that maybe coming down the line, it might be unlocked with a subscription service. Who knows? Because the fact that it can tell you that it's not there might be something that's worth looking into. Audi, of course, is Volkswagen. And if anyone is to be able to do vehicles with everything built in and then charge you for features, I think that's one of them. BMW was the first very European way of European company, right? Both German as well too. But now the third German company, Mercedes.
Okay.
Mercedes,
expensive.
Very expensive. The new EQS is a 6-digit car.
Wow.
Fully kitted out. It's beautiful. It has one of the best ranges. It's one of the most efficient EVs out there. It's absolutely beautiful. I've seen one. It looks great.
It's a luxury car.
It's a luxury electric vehicle, right?
Right.
If you look at the Hyundai Ioniq 6, which has just recently come out, if you look at the two, you know that someone was copying the other. It's not Mercedes. Mercedes came off the EQS first, but the Ioniq takes a few cues from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the EQS now has some additional performance tweaks. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, I'm okay with something like this because it will unlock additional performance, better top speeds, performance speeds, and also 0 to 60 times with a $1,200 yearly upgrade.
So
US.
$1,200 extra per year, a subscription, right?
Subscription.
It'll give you more horsepower, more traction, more torque, more acceleration.
Yeah.
Basically, like a sports package. Is that right? You know how BMW have their like M1 sport package for their cars and stuff like that?
They have their Brabus.
Brabus, yeah. And
so
AMG for the Mercedes.
AMG. To me, this is like an AMG upgrade for your vehicle. It's like a chip tune.
Oh, yeah. That's what they did. They put the chip, the super chip, racing chip, whatever they put into to give you an extra boost in performance. So okay, I get you.
The only thing that I have issue with is that it's not a one-time purchase.
What do you mean?
It's $1,200 a year.
Okay.
If you do a chip tune, it's once.
Oh, that is true.
Right?
That's true. How much is the chip tune? Because I'm not familiar with car performance.
It depends
sports
on the car,
racing one,
right? I think a chip tune on a high-end vehicle, that's probably about the ballpark because they have to put it on a dyno, they have to test it, emissions, they have to get fuel, lean, and everything like that. They have to run it for a while to figure out
$2,000 to $3,000 max for the normal chip tune on the sports car.
I think it's a lot less than that, but I think it's in the ballpark of $1,200.
$1,200, $1,500, right? Maximum
maybe
$2,000.
Maybe less.
So this is a yearly package. So you have to pay this
yearly package.
Yearly, okay.
Yeah, but having said that, though, the EQS is also a software run piece of hardware. So this $1,200 a year might actually end up being upgradable. So what happens is that and this is an over-the-air update. So what might happen is that there's a new update that comes out that might unlock additional features that give you even more performance. This is not your standard like software firmware update that you go into the shop to upgrade your ECU, et cetera, et cetera. This is something additional. So I think this $1,200 a year is justified mainly and I feel weird saying that, but if you want all the performance out of it, you need a team to keep constantly trying to get the performance out of it.
That's
so
true.
They're racing this vehicle on a track probably every quarter. They're trying to figure out what more they can do with it and all the conditions they can operate in. And every year they release this feature as an option to you. You want it? This is what it costs. We've tested it. This is like AMG. This is warranted by Mercedes-Benz. We back.
That's true. 100%. That's true. Yeah, this definitely. Right. If you $1,200 over a year divided by 12 months, that's $100 a year, a month. Yeah. So you get that performance.
You're not paying $10,000 to get an upgrade on that. Quite honestly, you may not that performance all the time. Like you only have to pay for a year, right? If you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it again. It's better than spending $10,000 on the next trim level that you'll never use. Honestly.
Or if you get the next trim level, and like I said, half the features you're not using, so you're wasting.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So in a sense, like this picking and choosing the features that you need might actually end up in cheaper vehicles overall, because I know for a fact that only in the winter is when I would use the heated steering wheel and the heat pump.
That's true.
And the seat warmers, right? So if I only needed to pay 3 to 4 months of the year, which is $9, argument's sake, $9 for the heating package, the rest of the year I wouldn't have to pay for it. And over the course of 5 years of ownership, if that's $36 a year, that's only really like $180 over 5 years.
Yeah, I guess
better than the permanent upgrade of the next trim level, which had those features. Because usually you're looking at $2,000 to $4,000 for the next trim level, or higher depending on the luxury vehicle, right?
Yeah.
I'm still ahead.
I'm looking at the new ID4, which is apparently my wife's reserved one, and we won't be getting it until the end of 2023. So we've got another year to wait. And they have different trim level packages, and the highest one, if you want to go for that one, I have to pay an extra $5,000.
That's kind of average, like honestly.
That's what I mean. And half the stuff I'm looking, what do I need this? Do I need that? But what? But yeah, like I said, $1,200 a year. That's $1,200 is okay. It's not too bad.
I actually don't think this is such a bad way to go in because it gives you a taste of what those features are.
Yeah,
and if you don't use them all the time, it might actually be financially viable. I know that when Adobe went to a subscription service for their software package, because you used to have to pay like $1,200 a year for it, for the whole package, like Adobe Photoshop, everything like that. You used to have to do that. Now you pay $60 a month and you get everything. Yeah, and it's always updated, upgrades every month.
That's right.
New software package every half a year or something like that. That you would have had to have bought anyway.
Yeah, I'm on that now.
It's worked out less. It's worked out less for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm on now, because it's not every day that I need to use Photoshop, but when I do, it's like, oh, I need to use it. Then, it's there. And I use Adobe, the Acrobat as well a lot. And there's
it's
sometimes
the latest version of it. Yeah. Every single time you open it, it's the latest version. It's compatible. It's got the most compatibility.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sad about that. I am a professional that uses it a lot. So it's more than paid for itself over the number of years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And the same with Microsoft Office. I mean, my God, you get like 6 licenses, I think.
Yeah.
And plus, I think I'm not sure. I think it's 100 gig. No, it's actually 1 terabyte storage.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have it too.
So it's family share. So I can have one for my, for my wife, one for my, brother. The other one's for my father-in-law and the kids and stuff like that.
Split everything up. So, I mean, subscription, good and bad. I think this is just a new way of thinking about how to do things. If you don't need all the features, maybe it's for you, because if the software if the, like you said, if the next trim level, you only use half the features and you only have to pay for half of them. So if there was some way for you to split the difference, pay for the features that you want and not pay for the features you don't want. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Talking about subscription level, we could be seeing Apple doing the same thing in the future. And let me tell you, you heard it from us first. Apple is going to do the subscription model. Let me tell you. Yeah,
I think they already. I think in some markets they already have. You can get hardware. You buy the phone. You just have to pay for the Apple One service. Oh. I don't know if this is. I heard this somewhere from before that they were moving in this direction where the hardware is basically, it doesn't matter. You pay for their service.
You pay for the service. Pay for the subscription level, right? Platinum. Yeah.
Just
gold,
like your cable provider, they're giving the internet service provider gives you the modem for free with the service, right? The modem costs probably $1,000, but it doesn't matter because you're paying a monthly with them for 2 years
subscription,
and you're paying a monthly fee. You're more than paying for the hardware, so it's worth it for the provider. It's worth it for it might be worth it for some people who want the next trim level for certain fees, want everything. They can pick and choose. I mean, it might feel better to just finance the whole thing and just be done with it. But knowing that if you itemized every feature that you don't use and put a dollar value on it, and whoa.
I think for most people, it would be rather, they don't want to be locked down or tied to a certain monthly subscription. For example, if, like you said, the $1,200 package for your Mercedes AMG sports package, performance boost, $1,200 a year. If, for example, I didn't want that next year, I could just take that off, right?
Yeah.
So
you just simply can't afford it, or if you want to drive more economically.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think if you're given a choice for people to do that, to pick and choose, then you're not locked in or tied in for that, terms.
And most importantly, it's not a permanent change to the vehicle. It's not permanent, right? Whereas if you were to tune the vehicle, you would need new exhaust, you would need different parts.
That's right.
You would need
that's
air
right.
intake. Like the modding is going to change, and modding will be changed specifically at the manufacturer's side. So there might be other ways that like you can upgrade your vehicle in the aftermarket, but the aftermarket market will need to figure out some new ways, some new tactics to do those types of upgrades, and there'll be a whole new frontier.
Yeah,
but
looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that brings our show to an end for today. And remember, you're going to have 2 episodes this week. You're going to have another one tomorrow,
That's right.
where we're going to talk about some topics on the best of PC products for 2022.
That's right.
So hang on to that. Winston's going to lead that conversation. It's going to be a good one, and hopefully you learn something and maybe build a PC in 2023. So if you want to yell at Winston, where can they get you?
You can find me on the ever-changing Metaverse. Yes, is it Metaverse now? Yeah, it is Metaverse. Instagram at Winston Chim, or like I said, the chaotic, crazy world of Elon Musk's Twitter at Twitter at Winston Chim. So that's where you'll find me.
Okay, and also at the chaotic hellscape of Elon Musk's mind of Twitter, you can find me at Stephen Fung, of course, and also at the more sympathetic Metaverse of Mark Zuckerberg. You can find me on his Instagram platform at Stephen Fung as well too. That's the end of the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in every single week and supporting us. We've been getting more subscribers every single week. Hopefully something that we've been saying resonates with you. Hopefully you like something about the show that really draws you back. And if you can tell us what that is, maybe we'll do a lot more of it, because comment area is open below. This is a YouTube exclusive podcast. You're only going to be able to find it here. So if you want to know when we drop the next episode, you've got to subscribe and hit the bell icon. It's the only way that Winston and I can let you know every single week when the latest episode comes in. And of course, we are so humbled by your support.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again tomorrow. And of course, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock, hopefully not on Riverside. Sorry, guys. No. Bye for now.
Bye for now.